Hello everyone and welcome to RTTF Season 4 and Race 1 and we are here live in Bahrain. We are here live in Bahrain. We are here live in Bahrain. We are okay and we are gonna be experiencing something amazing today. That's what I believe at least. We have 20 drivers. Entire lobby is packed to the brim. I am Racing Mouse and with me welcome, please, Spice Packet, his first commentary on our server.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well, and I'm glad to be here, and ready for this hopefully action-packed race.
Yeah, we have a lot of good drivers. We have obviously Edgin, the legend of the server himself, our admin and father figure. He's obviously the favorite to win here, but he's struggling with his wheel issues. He's using his gear shift pedals as throttle and brake pedals. So that's gonna be a disadvantage for him. We have Agatha, obviously the reigning champion. We have Door to Door, another champion of League 2. Obviously, this field's gonna be tight today.
I mean, looking at most of the drivers on this grid, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting season, and it looks like there's a lot of tight competition, especially up at the front for the main championships.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of previous champions, as I said, and we have a lot of newcomers as well.
And actually, quite a few drivers going out on track early out, which I honestly did not expect.
I mean, it's a short quali. We have only 18 minutes to put up a lap, and everybody's gonna be trying to at least put a bunker as early as possible. We have a first guy that's spun, that's a Williams, I believe, or a Red Bull, and we have Haas off. What's going on? Yeah, that was Pavlison off in the third corner. He's now letting other people by. But yeah, everyone will want to put in their lap as soon as possible. Obviously, everyone wants their lap to be as good as possible as well, but first and foremost, they want to put a time on the board. So everyone is out at the moment, except for one Mercedes.
You always want to get a last banker in just in case you don't manage to get in that second lap with maybe a mistake crashing out or invalidating. So I think always important to get some sort of time on the board. It seems like who's that? The first few drivers are now starting to set their lap times. I think the Haas might be the first car. The Haas of
Definitely.
Deathling.
Yeah, definitely is the first one to start a timed lap. Edgin is next behind him. We are riding on board with Edgin right now. That's obviously looking good for a guy that's using throttle as a gear shift pedal.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely going to struggle a little bit more than I think he usually would. Oh, as Deathlink has spun,
and Edgin did as well. Both of them spun on the same corner, corner 13. Got
they
two of them
both
off
slightly
guard.
touched that curb. Interesting. That must be the death curb. It looks like. Both them spinning at the exact same part of the track at pretty much the same time.
Yeah.
That is very
Obviously the
interesting.
track is green and that's the most difficult corner on said track, so I'm a little bit surprised that Edgin got caught off guard as well. Maybe he was like surprised by Deathling facing the wrong direction.
I mean, to be honest, that would scare me a little bit if I see a car facing the wrong direction as I'm going into a corner, so not be surprised if that could be the reason for his mistake.
Yeah, so the first time of the day, 1:29.3, set by the previous world champion Door to Door, followed by his teammate Bahrain Berry with a slightly worse time of 1:29.4.
Still some pretty good lap times from those two.
Yeah,
Same from Vlad, also a pretty decent lap time there.
And we have Lachtan. I forgot to mention Lachtan, obviously. He's also a very fast driver. He was always on top of the scoreboard during previous leagues. And he sets the time of 1:29 dead. That is quickly beaten
Ooh.
by Igor, the previous championship contender of League 3, who was the first one to go into 1:28.
I mean, for first lap, that's a pretty strong lap there.
That's a good bunker, I'm gonna admit.
Yeah, I would be happy with that.
And Igor's teammate is struggling now. He's waiting for other cars to pass. As we can see him now, he is, yeah, he's off track. He's trying to rejoin in a safe manner.
Sorry, but as Deathlink now sets a purple middle sector, from what I've seen on the timing screens, could he be on to get ahead of... Oh, Lord Agatha, new fastest.
He got ahead of Vlad.
Definitely not fast enough.
Yeah, but Agafa goes to the top and once
That
again
is a-
shows who's the boss here. The reigning world champion does not want to pull any punches today.
Still quite a few cars out on track at the moment. Thought a few more people would come into the pits after their first laps, but a couple people looking to set a second lap time on the same set of tires.
Obviously Scrap would want to put in another lap. He spun during his hot lap, so I would only assume he's gonna stay out. And he does not, he pits. He invalidated, so that might be
makes
might be
sense.
because why.
Well, I think everybody now will be slowly rolling into the pits, and that's what looks like is happening.
Yes, you said just before, still a lot of cars on the track. Most of those cars were obviously on the in-laps. Now we have only
Yeah.
5 cars, 3 of which are on a hot lap. Sorry, 4 of which. I think Corny would be on his in-lap. I'm not sure about that, to be fair. No, Corny is pushing hard.
Edgen did invalidate his last lap, so
Yeah,
I
and
think he'll
Corny
be
did as
going into
well.
the pits, yeah? Oh no, Edgen going for a flying lap here. With not much ERS, this is a surprising strategy from him, yeah?
Yeah, 11%. I mean, maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe he did some kind of mistake, and he thinks he can compensate for the lack of the ERS with his driving abilities or something.
Maybe. I mean, he is quite a quick driver as he sets a purple first sector.
With
Obviously
such a low
showing-
ERS, that's, I mean, only
Yeah.
expected of Edging, but
As he invalidates,
yeah,
sadly.
he invalidated. So he's gonna
That's
pit.
2 invalidations in a row. Yeah, definitely not gonna pitch here. So, while we wait for everybody to finish their out laps here, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about the Bahrain circuit. Because why not? So, of course, as we all hopefully know, and if you don't, you will know now, the Bahrain circuit was first introduced into F1 in 2004. It is, everybody would say now, quite an iconic circuit on the F1 calendar. Usually one of the first along with Australia. And the lap record here was set by De La Rosa with a 1 minute 31.447 in 2005. Just a little bit of information there.
I did not know that. Who was Pedro de la Rosa driving for back then? Was that Sauber?
I will have to find that information out because I'm not 100% sure.
So yeah, you go do that, and we are back on the track with the boys. Only 3 cars opted to stay in. Edgy obviously changing his tires, rethinking his strategy and life choices, while Daxter, I think that was that was Ollie 101, spun around in the third corner, uh, trying to let the Mercedes drivers pass by. He was on his flying lap, so that obviously was not his outlap, that was not intentional spin by any means.
To be fair, I don't think any spin would be an intentional spin for most of these drivers. But I mean, it is a way to warm up the tires, so
Yeah,
it might be a
I was
strategy.
about to say, sometimes drivers try to break the traction of the rear tires to trying to warm them up, and then they go overboard, and that's sometimes happens, and that's not a big deal, obviously, because you don't lose anything, except for maybe track position. But when you spin during the hot lap, uh, that's just a driver error. You don't go overboard. I mean, you do, but not because you wanted to warm the tires up.
Yeah, definitely not.
And Igor sets the fastest time of the session for now with 1:28.5, beating the Lord Agafa reigning world champions time by 2 tenths. And Jacob Snacks responds immediately with the almost identical time, 5 tenths 700, so 100 faster, almost 200 faster than Igor's time. And we have another car facing the wrong direction, that's a Haas of Pavilson.
If I'm not
And he's
mistaken,
missing a
that's
front wing.
Ooh, that's a second spin today as well. Seems to be struggling a little bit at Bahrain.
He might be struggling a little bit, but his time is not that bad. 1:30 is obviously not great, but it's certainly not terrible either.
Ooh, and I have just got the information we were looking for. He raced for McLaren in 2005 when he set the lap record and finished fifth.
Huh.
But he also, it looks like, injured his shoulder in the process. Oh, sorry, he was in for Pablo Montoya, who injured his shoulder. That was it, sorry. So he was a test driver
Ah,
for McLaren.
that makes sense then, because obviously I don't remember Pedro de la Rosa driving in 2005. That season was dominated, absolutely smashed by. Was that?
I think Fernando,
Yeah, Fernando.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly. That was dominant. That was the year when Ferrari got bad because of the regulations changing.
Yes, that is correct. I remember. Once again, a lot of cars seeming to go into the pits now, preparing for their most likely final runs of this short qualifying session.
Edgin is pulling out 1.5 seconds of his best time. That's gonna be a provisional pole for sure. I've missed the moment when he went on his hot lap, so let's cross the line with him. Let's see. Near to the final corner, opening the DRS, and across the line, and that's a first time of 1:27.
Yo.
That's amazingly over 1 second faster than the previous pole sitter, and
That
he's doing
is
that without his pedals.
That is an insane lap, and as you said, without his pedals. Wow.
Okay,
That
boys, we have
is
no excuse.
something else. That is something else. Trying to figure out who is on a flyer right now. It looks like
I think both Aston Martins
door
are now on the
to door.
flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are on board with door to door right now. He's in the middle part of the track, on the back straight. He's now opening his DRS and nearing into corner number 14. sweeping left-hander. He's using all the curb he can, using a lot of space. Yellow flag is in front of him, but that's only guys on the in-laps. And Alpha Tauri gets out of the way neatly, going on the edge of the circuit. And that's a purple middle sector from door to door hentai salesman. And he's nearing to the final corner. The sharp right-hander using the curve on the inside, using a little bit of a curve on the outside, opening the DRS in the final straight, and across the line we go. That's good for 6.
So it looks like he has a little bit more downforce than some of the other drivers because he's quite strong in that middle sector, but a little bit weaker on the straights.
Yeah, precisely.
It'll be interesting for the race, if I have to be honest, to see what he can do because he might struggle to overtake on the straights, but he'll get nice and close in that middle sector, which could enable him to make a couple of dive bombs.
Yeah, and if he's gonna be using DRS in those straights, that can compensate for his more downforce focused setup.
That is very true. Barry goes just behind him once again. Those two actually very close together.
Yeah, Bahrain very now pulling to the right hand side of the track, trying to let other people by. That was Ferrari of Ergin, I suppose, or maybe Vlad. Wait,
As
no, that was Ergin.
the Haas of Pavlison has spun once again.
Yeah, also on his hot lap
Really
again.
seems to be struggling.
He is struggling, isn't he? We have 2 minutes till the end of the session. A lot of guys now out on the track. Only 4 drivers still in the pits. And as I say that, one more, actually both Alpha Tauris go out to try and better themselves. Aim and Ek.
At the moment, sorry, I think Agatha is on a lap, just ending the second sector there. Gets a purple second sector. There's a 5-place grid penalty
For
for
illegal
someone.
braking. That was... I didn't see who was that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I just saw it pop up briefly. I think it was one of the Alpha Tauris.
Yeah, probably Aim. And Agatha goes faster, but not fast enough. He's still behind Igor, Jacob and Ergin. He's 4th at the moment, with a time of 1:28.6. That's certainly not a bad time, but not good enough to even challenge for the provisional pole.
Well, it just seems like Edgen so far has been in a league of his own in terms of qualifying pace at the moment, but there are still quite a few people that still need to set some lap times, so we'll have to wait and see what unfolds in the next minute or so.
It looks like Agatha is staying out and he's still trying to do a better time. He's now 600 behind his best time. But those
Sorry
lines
to
are
interrupt you,
tidy. Yeah?
but I don't think Edgen can improve his lap because I've just seen him run wide in the first corner and he won't be able to get around for another flying lap. So I think that'll be his lap time to end the session.
I mean, he's not gonna be very angry with that, I'm sure. That time is good enough for Paul, that's without question. And Agatha goes half a second slower. So he's gonna be probably going to pit this lap. He's not gonna improve, no matter what he do. And he does so, yeah, he dives into the pits. Lactan stays out, he's not improving. Another car to cross the line, that was Bev Jesus, I suppose, with a time of 1:30.4. Let's see, another Alfa Romeo, that's Daxter. Daxter improves, he goes 14th fastest. And Oli has his time deleted, so that's gonna be qualifying done for him. As the next car to cross the line would be Vlad. He crosses the line, goes 10th fastest. Edgin crosses the line, he did not improve, as you said. And the McLaren of Splat is now across the line, he does not improve, stays 11th.
House of Deathlink improves and goes third.
Oh wow, that's a good time from the Haas driver. I was not expecting Deathlink this high up.
Very, very good lap time from him, but Nobody getting anywhere near Edgen's time in qualifying here. That is quite interesting.
It is interesting, but is it surprising?
I mean, over a second, I think it is a little bit surprising, especially seeing that he doesn't have his pedals. But I mean, fair enough. It's an extremely good lap time, and if he can carry that pace into the race, I think it might be an easy win for him in terms of just pace. But as we know, there's a lot more to come in the race compared to qualifying.
Yeah,
A lot more factors.
remember, Edgin is not very good at starts, so I'm anticipating that at least one guy, maybe Jacob, maybe Igor. Igor is very strong with starting his car. Maybe those guys can get a jump on him. But if he manages to pull off a mighty start, manages to drive away, and if he's gonna keep the pace of qualifying, if he's gonna be 1 second faster than all the other guys, I don't see anybody else taking the W there.
There we go. Qualifying over. Very, very interesting qualifying session. Quite tight in the majority of the field.
Yeah, so there you have it. Edgin 1 second faster than the next guy, Jacob Snacks, followed by Deathlink, and then Igor, Lord Agafa, and Lachtan. Top 6 for you. The next guy on the 7th place, previous Season 2 driver champion, door to door, with his teammate Bahrain Berry to accompany him on the grid slot next to him. Then the Alfa Romeo of Oli, Ferrari of Vlad, and that closes the top 10.
And
We
if I'm not
have,
mistaken, Aim will move down 5 places
yep,
from his penalty.
so he will be starting 17. That was an interesting qualifying session.
Very interesting. I seriously did not expect to see the man on pole be a whole second ahead, but I mean, it makes the race even more exciting because it could change a lot of things here, especially if he doesn't get a good start. Could be some exciting battles.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, you obviously don't know Edgin if you were not expecting that outcome, but he
I
is
mean,
a lot faster than everybody
I
else.
was expecting a good lap, but that was a really good lap. That was some serious pace from him. Because I mean, expecting a good lap is something, but when he says he doesn't have pedals, I did not expect that one at all. So yeah,
I was sitting with him on the voice chat when he was practicing, and he did say something in the lines of, "I am as fast as Agafa is," while he was practicing for the race today with his shifter paddles as his throttle and brake. So, truth being told, I'm not surprised he's leading the pack from the start.
yeah, it just shows that practice to get used to using the shifters has really paid off to get him that some serious pace.
Yeah, practice makes perfect, and Edgy knows that. I think everybody knows that. Uh, and he's only recently started to take care of his practice sessions. Earlier on, he just tended to uh, jump in, whatever happens, happens, and that kind of mindset. And I'm glad to see the change for the better. Everybody needs a challenge. I'm just not sure if Edgin is the right person for you to compare yourself to. And
So
we have
we-
16
now,
seconds till the start of the session. Gonna kick ourselves off with the formation lap, and then when the lights go out, I'm sure we're gonna see plenty more action.
yeah, and this has definitely been set up to be quite an exciting race, seeing how close the field is. This formation lap gets underway. And we see there, yes, aim has moved down to 17th with that grid place penalty.
He's not gonna be happy about that, but he can be fast when he tries and keeps out of the trouble. Obviously, both Alpha Tauri drivers are quite prone to getting themselves into plenty of questionable situations, but I am saying that 100% honest, both of them got better. It used to be much, much worse.
As interestingly enough, most people starting on the hards, only 2 starting on the softs. Deathlink in P3, one of those choosing to start on the soft compounded tire.
Yeah, and Edgin as well, he's on hard compound tires. I was not expecting him to do that. I mean, the preferable strategy, at least for me, would be to start on mediums, maybe softs, pull away from the pack, and just keep away from all the bullshit happening behind you. Because we have 20 drivers, let's be honest, I'm not expecting this race to go out without a safety car at least once.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, everybody's going to try fight for their position, and obviously with some hard battling, there will be a couple of incidents. But yeah, as you said, very interesting for him to start in the mediums, especially seeing that you said he doesn't have the best of starts. So I think the medium compared to the hard here would have given him a nice advantage to maybe pull away a little bit off the start and keep him ahead. So some interesting calls throughout the field. As we let them all line up on the grid.
Yeah, Edgin
Bahrain Grand Prix.
shoot up in front. Oh, and he overshot his grid slot massively. He was disqualified from the session. What? Was he
I haven't
really
seen one of those
disqualified
before.
completely, or is that just from the start?
I think that that I think that will just be for the formation lap. I think he will still be there for the start of the race. Yeah, that is just definitely just for the formation lap.
Okay, glad to hear that because I don't want to have a restart on our hands. That's always it. Okay, and
Yep,
there we go. Here we are, and we have all lights on. And it's lights out and away we go. Edgin gets away well, but Jacob Snacks gets away better. We have Deathlink in his Haas closely behind him. He might challenge for the lead. As Lord Agafa moves up a place in front of Igor now. Let's see. Igor is fourth. Jacob Snacks challenging Edgin for the lead of the race, and he does so. He gets ahead, as does Deathlink. He's side by side with Edgin now, following them from Igor's perspective, and both of them, Igor and Deathlink, get in front of the Ferrari. And Lord Agafa as well. 5 places is what Edgin lost during that start. As I said, he's not the best at starting the races, but he kept neatly out of trouble, and he's there for the rest of the race, I'm sure. We have a clean start for now. Nobody makes contact, at least for now. Vlad moved up a place. Ek is now 10th, and Door to Door and Bahrain Berry jumped some places as well, I think.
Yeah, door to door up 1 place. And interestingly enough, going into turn 4, there was a massive lift from Edgin there, which I did not expect. So I think that's what always is yellow flags connected to
Corner tires
1
on the session.
DNF.
I don't know what happened there. I didn't see anything. No contact was made. Only Corny is going slowly now.
Corny is out of the session. I think he has had to. I think he's retired the car. He has pulled over. So that's a massive collision.
Yeah, collision between Bev Jesus and another Alpine. Is that
No, it's a Williams.
Williams of Lactan? Yes.
Yeah.
And he's missing
that
his
is
entire front wing.
Safety car.
And that's a safety car.
Well, it's way too early to pit. I mean, second lap starting, so a lot to unpack in that first lap there. Some most people moving up places.
Obviously,
Blackton
Edgin
moving
falling down
down
the order.
12.
He lost 4 places.
Yeah. But besides that, it seems like most people have moved up some places. Just the 2 that have DNF'd have obviously dropped places, and then Blackton with the collision
Yeah, he's not gonna be
has
happy
also
about that.
dropped places.
obviously could have ended much worse, as Bev Chasers and Corny are now out of the race. Lachtan, with the safety car out, he's gonna be allowed to catch up to the pack, but he's got a lot of catching up to do after the safety car restart as well.
And I think this could play into the hands of Deathlink here. Started on the soft tires. If he can make these tires last now, he can go onto a set of hards and make a one-stop work quite nicely.
Yes, but that's only... Oh, and we have a 2 5-second penalty for AIM and Daxter. They're gonna be allowed to clear those when they come into the pits. But that's not gonna help their race at all. And as I was saying, he will have to put up a mighty opening couple of laps, and that's another 5 seconds time penalty for Daxter. Yeah, he's gonna have to putting up some moves to get ahead of the guys and pull out a gap to get away from the DRS danger.
Well, I mean, he is on that set of softs, which will give him the advantage for the beginning, but I think as it gets to the end of his stint, he might struggle a little bit. Other guys might catch up. I think that will be the main thing for him, is to try to pull out enough of a gap so he doesn't have to worry about the guys behind him for when he does need to pit at the end of his stint. I mean, softs compared to hards, he'll be quite quick compared to the others, probably at the start here. So it'll be interesting to see how much of a gap he can pull, if he can pull out a gap to the guys behind. Quite a few people pitting.
Yeah, quite a few people opting to change their tires. We have Bahrain Berry from 7th, now opting to change his tires back to 16th place.
AIM is serving a penalty.
I think that has to do something with the nose change. All of them were in the pits for quite a long time. AIM certainly had to change his nose. I didn't see Barry or Vlad, but if I'm not mistaken, Vlad is piloted by an AI for now. He left the session. He might be having internet issues. And we had a message from Corny. Corny said his AI just retired. So
that's
what I'm getting from that is he was disconnected from the session. His AI took over, and it retired his car for him, giving him a mighty big. How do I say it?
Disadvantage
favor?
For the or that. Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting one. I actually haven't seen that one before. The actual AI retiring for you. Usually they drive for you, but I've never seen them retire for you. That's a new one.
Yeah.
As we look at the people that have changed tires, AIM has gone into a set of softs. Vlad's AI, as you said, I'm not sure if he is back yet, onto a set of mediums. Borrowing Barry onto a set of hards from his, I think, medium compounded tire. And then, yeah, I think that was pretty much everybody that stopped on that last lap. As we should have hopefully one more lap behind the safety car before things get going again.
Yeah, kind of a briefer for everyone to calm down a little bit after that heated start at the beginning of the race.
Yeah. And yeah, it seems like most people managed to clear their penalties except for Daxter, who has 10 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, 2 separate penalties, one for ignoring yellow flags and second one for cutting corners, if I'm remembering correctly. So here we are, 4 people stopped. That was Lachtan at the start of the second lap. He needed to make a nose change, as probably did Barry, Vlad and AIM. All of those 4 drivers are now driving plumb last behind everyone else.
I actually want to have a look at Lachtan's car to see if there's any sort of damage to the side pods or underfloor or anything like that. Won't really see much with the floor, but maybe the side pods. From what I've seen so far, I don't see anything. I think it might have just been that front wing for him.
But yeah, seeing that Deathling jumped 2 positions at the start, I would say that starting on softs might not have been a bad idea for Deathling.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an advantage off the start, and I think the safety car was perfectly timed for him. So, bit of luck, but also, I guess, some smart thinking, maybe knowing that a safety car would be out early on in the race.
Yep, and the safety car is in this lap, and we are about to see if Haas driver can turn his short-term advantage into a long-lasting one.
He should be able to get those tires nice and switched on before the guys behind him on the hards.
Yeah, don't forget that the harder tires are, it's harder to warm them up.
So we get going, and he has a massive gap.
Yeah, I think he caught all the drivers napping.
Yeah, that was a great restart from him. As
Agafa
their spin-
having a
there was a
look
spin further
into
back.
Igor's side. Igor cuts him off a little bit, but that's fair racing. Everyone keeps their position for now, but Edgin is on the move. He's trying to get ahead of the Red Bull. He's side by side with him. He's having a drag, helping him from the Mercedes of Igor ahead. And he's on the outside. He's trying to go around the corner in front of Agafa's Red Bull. He's still side by side with him. He has to back off. And Agafa retains his place. That was some nice driving from both of them.
Some very good respect given by each of them, leaving nice amount of space. Some very good racing. As he's going for another move here.
Yeah, he's having a look before the corner number 13, the most difficult corner on the track, and he's under pressure from door to door actually. He's not getting ahead of the Red Bull, but he might be getting behind Aston Martin instead.
And this battling and being stuck behind Agafa here isn't helping his race from that brilliant qualifying. He's getting a little bit bogged down by the cars ahead now after the poor start. So
He's once again side by side with Agafa. He's now a little bit in front of Agafa. Now he has the inside line. He cuts him off a little bit. He's now in front of the Red Bull, and he's gonna try to make some other places in front of Igor and in front of Jacobs perhaps. But now, fastest time of the session, Deathling with 1:32, and he's gonna be hoping that the other guys cannot catch up to him in time for the DRS to be turned on. And
Oof.
Edgin goes wide.
Adrian goes very wide there.
That might have compromised his charge on the Mercedes ahead. He might have to recharge his batteries a little bit before trying to make a next move. And now we have another guy in the pits, that's Leroy. And no, Lachtan is in the pits and he's out of the session again as well.
Yeah, he retired in the pits, sadly.
Yeah,
I think he might have
had
got some damage. Yeah. Maybe he did have some side pod damage and might have made a little bit of contact with another car off the restart there, and it might have made it worse. Maybe not worth carrying on.
Yeah, that's probably the case. As Edgin is now much closer to the Mercedes in the front than on the previous lap. Let's see, we have another yellow flag, that's Pavelson,
Passed
and he
again.
spins again.
That's his second time in the race already. Second time off the restart. He is really struggling.
He does not like this track at all.
As Deathlink has pulled out a massive gap to the cars.
He did,
behind
but
him.
don't forget he's on soft tires. He will have to pit much earlier than the rest of the pack.
That is very, very true.
And now the guys are very close to each other. Igor trying to make a move on Jacob, and Edgin trying to make a move on both of them. He's going for the outside for the last corner. He backed up a little bit, and now he will have the slipstream of 2 cars ahead. Let's see if he can make this work. He's very close to the gearbox of the Igor. He's getting closer, inching ahead of the 2 cars, but Igor is first one to pull out side by side with the McLaren ahead. They are going close, they're going closer, and now he is the outside line. He manages to stick around and he manages to pull out ahead of Jacob Snacks, but Edgin is still there to pick up the scraps. He's backing out a little bit. He's trying to go for the outside of the McLaren. He's trying to maybe get a switch back, but he's too far behind. And out of the corner we go, and the order now is second place Igor, then Jacob losing 1 place, and Edgin just behind them.
And this battling definitely helping Deathlink get a nice gap to hopefully give him some breathing room for when he does need to make his pit stop and when those softs do die off. But everything getting pretty fasty with the for second place here.
The DRS is now turned on, and Edgin thought about a little dive bomb, but thought better of it as Jacob Snacks closes the door on him. Tundra, meanwhile, is getting awfully close to Daxter behind the leaders.
I was just about to tell you about that one. He is definitely putting a lot of pressure on him, and he could go for a move into the final corner.
He's definitely thinking about it. He's pulling out to get in alongside him maybe, but he's thinking better of it yet again. Now trying to slot in behind him and use the DRS that Daxter will not have on this occasion. He's inching ahead, he's now side by side with him, and he's ahead, even before the corner. So
as Edgin has passed, Edgin has just got past, who is that? The McLaren, and the McLaren's actually dropped down behind Agatha now as well.
Yeah, that's 4 places lost in span of 2 laps for Jacob.
As Scrub gets a 3-second time penalty. And Tundra is past Daxter now. And I think he will start to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen the move down into turn 2. But now Edgin thinks about moving up to second place. He has the pace. I don't think he has damage. He has DRS though. Open wide. He's catching Igor. But he's still under pressure from Agatha and Jacob Snacks. They are not giving up just yet. They want to keep themselves in this fight for as long as possible. And door to door, don't forget about him. He's still keeping up with the guys in front. We have a massive battle for P2 right now. Edgin is very close to Igor. He's gonna try to inch ahead in front of him. Igor seemingly having a better pace, but now the DRS zone of the pit straight, that's gonna help Edgin massively. He did had a bad exit. I thought for a second he's gonna pit on this lap, but no, he's still in the fight. His DRS is open despite being almost a second behind Igor. After the first corner, after the last corner, he go in deep, and he will not be able to overtake him into the corner number 3, I'm afraid. He's, on the other hand, under pressure from Lord Agatha, who is now once again ahead of Edgin. Yeah, that exit out of turn 1 for Edgin compromised him very much, so much so that he lost the place to Agatha.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a loss of the rear end for the last corner, and then running a little bit deep in turn 1 definitely compromised him, and the reason Agatha got past, because I think he definitely could have been putting some pressure on Igor up in P2.
Oh, and that was Tundra. Tundra spun around. And he's now behind Scrap after putting such an amazing move on Daxter. Tundra is now 14th. Daxter, meanwhile, under pressure from Bahrain, managed to fend him off for now. He's trying to make a move on Vlad the Midman ahead.
AIM has retired in the pit lane, I think. Oh no, he hasn't.
He's going out of the pit lane, but he's retired. He's the
Yeah, I
4th
think
DNF
that's
of the
taking
session.
control.
I think he tries to retire in the pit lane. He might have some damage as well.
Maybe, as Edgin is looking to make a move on Agatha further up the field.
Yep, and he's side by side with him for now. He has the inside line, I believe. Will that be enough to make a move on the Red Bull driver? No. He's slotted in behind him. And that's AIM parked in the middle of the track.
Thank goodness, I think he was ghosted there, so I don't think anyone... As Deathlink has pitted. Deathlink has put off the softs onto a set of... What is that? I think that is the mediums he is on.
Yeah, so we had a change of the leader of the race. Now Igor is in front, and Deathlink is gonna try... is that mediums then, you said?
Yes, that is a set of mediums, so I think he'll go...
Yeah, that's
soft,
gonna
medium,
be 2
soft
stopper
maybe.
then, probably.
Using the 2 fastest compounds, I would be guessing.
He might try to pull that off until the end of the race. That's 10 laps, so he will have to do 19 laps on the set of mediums.
Definitely is possible, but I think he will struggle with a tyre wear right at the end there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the fastest possible strategy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he'll be losing a lot of time when those tires do die out. But I mean, if he can keep those tires in good shape, he definitely could hang on for some good points, maybe even a win. He's fast enough.
Definitely. So we had a little bit of a spread out in the top 5. Almost all the guys are in the DRS zone for now.
Sorry, Deathlink looking for a move on Tundra right at the back here into the last corner.
Yep, and he
Easily
does
gets
so. He
past him.
moves up ahead of the Alpine. But Tundra has not given up just yet. He has the slipstream, but he does not have the DRS. So I imagine that Deathlink will be able to pull out ahead of the Tundra Alpine driver.
So it looks like there's a bit of a DRS training DRS train forming with the top 3, maybe even the top 4, maybe even top 5 as
Yeah,
door to
top
door
5.
is
Don't forget
gaining
about the
time.
previous world champion.
That is very true.
And Daxter is in
Bahrain
the fight
Barry,
between Bahrain, Berry and Vlad. Those two are very close to each other. Let's see if either of them can pull out ahead.
and Deathlink fighting Scrub as well. But I think Deathlink should be
Yeah,
able to get ahead on that fresher, softer compound of tire.
he just got ahead of
And
Scrap.
he does.
Into turn 13 we go, Deathlink is ahead of Scrap. But Bahrain Berry is still putting a lot, immense pressure on Daxter. He's now on the inside of him, he's trying to go from the outside.
To the inside.
Yep.
Very brave
Oh!
move. Oh,
They almost touched. Bahrain Berry had to go cut the corner a little bit. As Pavilson, I think, spun again. That's a yellow flag. And that's Scrub.
and Scrub as well, I think.
Yeah, Scrub is facing the wrong direction there. And
As
we have
the
another
other
safety car.
The other has retired
Yeah.
then in that part of the track.
Oh, that's gonna play
in the
massively into
second
Daxter's hand. He just managed to dive into the pits at the last possible moment. That's gonna give him massive, absolute massive advantage over the guys in front. He might jump a couple of
Definitely,
places.
and I think that's a bit of a hit for Deathlink here, because if he could have made those softs last a couple laps longer, he could have put onto the mediums under the safety car and been in a very, very good position.
True.
As
But
I
he
think
could,
everybody now ahead will probably put onto a set of mediums.
yeah, but he could not predict what would have happened, so. As
That is
Scrap,
very, very true.
Leroy and Tundra, they all pit. I think all the guys in front who were denied the chance to pit on this lap will pit just as they cross the start-finish straight once again.
And if I was Daxter, I would put twice under the safety car to get rid of that, both those penalties.
That might not be a bad idea. Let's see. He is now on softs, so he might actually do just what you said. Put on another compound of hard or medium tires. Either of those will work at this point. Whichever of those that he have stored for the rest of the race. Pit in again, serve another time penalty, come out clear and on the rubber that can take him to the end.
And if he does do that, there will be some very good thinking from him. As Scrub will be the only one at the moment that cannot remove a time penalty,
Yeah.
sadly, in pit stops.
So, everyone except Engine opted to stay out for some reason. Everyone pits then.
I think he might be wanting to take it long, maybe knowing that he can probably pull away a little bit and then go onto a set of softs on probably lap 20.
Maybe. Igor, meanwhile, opted to go out on soft compound tires. The rest of the pack behind him, Jacob, Door to Door, and Agafa, I think all of them are on mediums.
Can those softs last until the end of the race? That is the important question here.
Agafa swapped for hard tires. He was starting on mediums, so Agafa is now done with his pit stops. That might play into his hand massively.
I think he will struggle maybe for the first part of the safety car restart, but once he gets those tires warmed up, and I think once the other guys' tires ahead start dying off, he might be in a very, very good position to maybe go for a podium, if not a win here.
Wait, Vlad is ahead of Engine somehow. How did that happen?
I have no clue. That is interesting.
I have no idea what happened, mate. Vlad obviously
Maybe
pitted
some
before.
Ferrari tactics here.
Maybe Vlad has softer and
Not that
fresher tires.
I did not know that was possible, but I mean, the tactic's a tactic, I guess.
I mean, if you go off and off the track under the safety car, then you can get overtaken, and the guy who overtook you does not need to give the place back. So maybe that's what the Ferrari drivers did. They swapped the places under the safety car. I missed that part, so I'm only guessing right now.
Yeah, I mean that could be the only thing. I think that could probably be the only thing. I actually did not think about that, so
And Igor pits
very
again.
interesting.
That's an interesting
Maybe he
tactic for the Mercedes
selected.
driver.
I think he might have selected the wrong tire when he went to the pits at first. Ooh, as that
Perhaps.
would be a
That would be
very
a nice
unsafe
release in real life for sure with
Whoa.
ghosting on.
That would be a massive collision, but yeah. Goodness, it's just the F1 game.
So Igor, from leading the race, is now second to last. That safety car came out at the very wrong time. It turned the race upside down.
Well, I think if it was the case of the wrong tires being selected and his team maybe pulling out a Ferrari strategy there, I think that might be the reason he might be at the bottom. But
Yeah, possibly, because for a second there I thought he opted to go out on one lap of soft, so he uses two different tire compounds, and then he will go out on the hard tires
hard
again,
compound.
because he starts the race on the hards. He can not use two compounds of hards, obviously.
yeah, I mean, is he on that set of hards now?
No, he's on mediums, so that's not what he is doing. That's what I was trying to say. And
Oh yeah,
so
sorry.
probably what you said. Probably the wrong tire choice. The team messed up. They put him on the tires they did not want to put him, and now had to correct that mistake.
Yeah, safety car in this lap.
I'm honestly surprised Edgin opted to stay out under the safety car.
Yeah, same. I mean, unless, as I said, unless he thinks there could be a chance for another safety car, he could pull away. I think with his pace, he could have probably done quite well in that set of mediums. But a strategy is a strategy. As Agent seemingly holding the rest of the pack up on the restarts. Very interesting there.
Yeah, I think that those were the team orders the Ferrari were going to imply. And now Defling is trying to get ahead of Bahrain Berry. He has fresher compound tires, he has the inside line, and now the Haas driver is ahead of the Aston Martin. It was a good overtake under the restart, and let's see who else is fighting during that restart. I don't see any more guys going side by side, except maybe for Jacob Snacks and Door to Door. Jacob is now in the sandwich of Aston Martin, but he's not under pressure. He's actually pressuring Bahrain Berry in front of him, but as he does that, he makes a mistake and allows Door to Door to swoop in right in front of him from the inside. Now the Aston Martin is ahead of Jacob. But Jacob does not give up. He goes for a dive. He goes from the inside of Door to Door, but Door to Door keeps his ground. He had the better exit, and now he's ahead and way in front of the McLaren.
It was a brave move there from the McLaren driver. I did not expect that, a move into that corner, one of the most difficult corners to get traction down in general, and then to go up the inside and
behind them, Oli is fighting with Agatha now. Agatha trying to hold on to his line. He does so. They are still side by side. He has the inside line for the next corner. He slots in behind the Orlan Alfa Romeo, and now he swoops in from the inside. That's tight. He had to concede, and now Oli is in front of the reigning world champion.
As I think Deathling could get a move here on Edgin up at the front, getting nice and close.
He certainly has a look. He goes for the inside. He swoops in front of the Ferrari, and that's the move done.
think there might have been a slight bit of contact of the front wing of Edgen trying to do the switchback there, but he has a chance now to get back ahead.
Yeah, Edgin is not yet done. He's trying and he's certainly thinking about it, but he had to back out. I don't think he has the confidence under his car. He's using the shift pedals. I'm gonna say that again, as his throttle and brake, so he has to brake a little bit earlier than he would have wanted to. As we have a spin, that's an Alpine of Leroy.
And Asian also having drained all his ERS, I think he'll be wanting to try to get that back up and maybe putting a bit more pressure on Deathlink once he does manage to get his ERS back up to a decent amount of charge.
Oh, that was so
Yes,
close.
he ran a bit wide.
He almost collected Deathlink. And that compromised him very much. Bahrain Berry is now in front of the Ferrari driver. He has fresher tires, don't forget that, so that might be a tall order for Edgin to keep that 4th place. He might be forced to pit fairly soon. That tires must be keeping him very much behind the pace he would have wanted.
Yeah, I think.
And Deathlink pits again.
Vlad in the pits.
Sorry, that was Vlad, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think that's maybe why they wanted to give Vlad that gap off the restart there.
Maybe.
And there's a massive gap now to Deathlink up the front. Edgen could be looking. Ooh.
And Leroy
They look like
retired from the
three.
session.
Yeah. That's actually Sector 1, but it says Sector 3. That's interesting.
Oh wow, that was a dive bomb from Jacob on door to door, but door to door held his ground. He did not allow the McLaren driver to get in front of him that easily. That was a dive bomb and a half, but a fair one, might I add. Now we have the DRS open.
If you no longer go for a gap that does exist, then you are no longer a racing driver.
That obviously
Everyone should remember that
did not
quote.
work for him. He put both of them in danger, but they are still in the race. As Jacob moves in front of Oli, who overtook him for a brief moment.
And Edgen seeming to find a bit of pace now on that hard component tire, maybe getting it warmed up after that restart.
He will have DRS now, so I'm expecting him to get in front of the Aston Martin.
Deathlink has pulled out quite a massive gap to second place here. Seemingly controlling the race from first at the moment. As Splat Beef battling with a couple of cars, looks like the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo down in P9.
Yeah, Igor moves in front of Splat Beef.
Igor starting to make up some positions from where he was lost after his pit stop. Pretty much lost on the grid, so at the moment pretty decent recovery from him so far.
I mean, if Deathlink has to pit again, he can be compromised by both Igor and Agafa. They are now on fresher, better tires. Edgin certainly has to pit. I know about door to door, but Bahrain Berry, if I remember correctly, let me actually check. He should be on fresher tires. No. Yeah, door to door is on the 5-lap old mediums. Bahrain Berry has to pit. Edgin certainly has to pit again. And Igor, as I say that, Igor is pulling out the fastest middle sector of the session.
And Edgen gets past Bahrain Barry there. Does he have DRS?
He should have.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Bahrain Berry is gonna get this position back easily. Obviously that's not an ideal position for Edgin to be in. Right now, door to door and Deathlink, both of them have massive advantage over the rest of the guys. Obviously track position ahead of Lord Agafa and Igor. and better tires than Edgin and Bahrain Berry.
Remembering Edgen does also still have to make a pit stop, so that'll be interesting to see where he comes out after that pit stop, if there is no safety car.
I'll put him even behind Vlad, honestly. Daxter pitted on this lap, he is now last, so Edgin is gonna get ahead of Daxter, but behind Vlad, I'm afraid. As he's now extremely close to Bahrain Berry in front. Berry will not have the DRS on this particular lap, so Edgin might be able to pull out in front of the Aston Martin and get ahead of it. Let's see. He's now inching closer, the DRS is now open, he's side by side with him, and I'm guessing that's the move done even before the corner. Yep, he's way ahead of him. And Jacob had a little look over door-to-door's shoulder. He had to slot in behind him yet again, and now we have a crash. That's Agafa and Igor. The championship contenders collided, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It looks like during that battle, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but it looked like Agafa might have been touched on the rear right, if I'm not mistaken, but I cannot confirm that, so...
We would have to watch the replay, but yeah, that's not what Mercedes would have wanted. And
Definitely
that can
not.
play into hands of Edgin as Egg spins his Alpha Tauri. Tundra tries to make a move on Scrap.
Edgin now right up behind Deathlink. Surprisingly enough.
Yeah. Oh, and Tundra spins and Egg was disqualified from the session. What's happening?
What is what?
Absolute chaos on the 20th lap of the session. Edgin is now right on the gearbox of Deathling actually. He's trying.
All Edgin needs now is for a bit of a safety car, I think, and then he can go into a set of softs. Might be what he's hoping for, but
I mean, he still got the pace on the old Hearts. Let's see. He's gonna get ahead of the Haas. He's probably gonna look for a little bit of a gap.
Fastest lap.
And the fastest lap on so old hard tires. That's amazing driving from the Ferrari
20
driver.
lap old hards. Absolutely amazing lap from him and amazing driving, as you said. Pulling out his inner Lewis Hamilton maybe with that set of old compounded tires.
And he's already pulling away from Deathling. I don't know if even with the DRS assistance Deathling will be able to keep up with him.
I mean, that's one thing I have noticed on this game. The hard compounded tire does seem to have a second bit of life if you can carry it long enough, and if you can actually get it to, I'd say, about 50% tire wear.
Yeah.
It does seem to get a second bit of life.
Like a second gust of wind.
Yeah. It's interesting to see. Maybe that was part of his strategy through his practice. He might have noticed that and thought, I'm going to go for that.
Might be the case, yeah. That's why he opted to stay out. He's now certainly going to get ahead of Igor.
And he sets a purple second sector. He is still flying, and he is, as you said, over a second ahead of Deathling. No. And he could get ahead of, definitely ahead of Igor here. So
maybe he's hoping for a bit of rain so he can do another race on one compound of tires.
Whoa!
And
a
now,
130.6.
Yeah, another fastest lap from Edgin, and now Bahrain Berry dives into the pits. He's now trambling down the order. He's gonna get overtaken by Scrap, and let's see if he's gonna get ahead of Tundra and Igor. He's now coming out of the pits, but the two drivers.
And Ollie going for a move on one of the McLarens. I'm not 100% sure who
they are side by side now.
Jacob, I think that is.
Yeah, but Jacob had the battle line and managed to slot in front of the Alfa Romeo. And we have a yellow flag. That's Scrablord. He's getting overtaken by both Igor and Tundra. Tundra got the better of the situation. He's now in front of both Mercedes drivers somehow. I don't see any damage on either of those cars, but that's not a good day for Mercedes.
Yeah, doesn't look like any damage, luckily for them, but as you said, still doesn't look good for the Mercedes boys as Iger looking to get past Scrub now.
I think Scrub just let him by. He has a penalty,
Yeah.
and Igor certainly has a better pace on the fresher tires. No, sorry, Scrub is in front of Igor.
Is he still? Oh, he is. You're not wrong there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Maybe it's some team orders as Edgen is pulling out a pretty nice gap to Deathlink, but
As
he
you
does
said
still
it
need to
now,
make that turn.
Jacob got ahead of door to door. He is now third, and he has as old tires as door to door, so he might be able to get in front of the McLaren yet again. He's certainly thinking about it. He's pulling, he's having a little bit of a look, but he was not fast enough to make any moves on Jacob. As we have another yellow flag, that's
That's for
Oli.
Alfa Romeo.
That's Oli,
I
isn't
think.
it? No, that's yeah, that was Oli.
Yeah, it is.
As
But he
Scrap
seems to
gets
have
another
recovered.
3-second time penalty, Splatbiff is all over the gearbox of Oli.
As Bahrain Barry is going for a move on Iger here. On that fresh set of softs, seems to be unlocking quite a bit of pace. And he is passed.
Yep.
As Agatha, I think, also gets passed as Splatbeef has a bit of a moment and loses the back end.
Yeah, that he did, but
that's amazing.
Bahrain Berry is now getting these softs to a good use. He's now ahead of Igor, he's 10th into the points, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna get ahead of Tundra and probably, possibly, maybe Scrub as well.
Edgen pits. Edgen is into the pits.
Yep, edge into the pits, and let's see where does...
It surely has to be a set of softs, but where will he drop out? That'll be the more important question, yeah.
Yep, soft tires get in, and he's gonna get probably ahead of Scrub. As Bahrain Berry makes a quick work of Tundra, but Tundra actually has none of it. He gets ahead of Bahrain Berry yet again. And yeah, not even
think
close.
Edgen-
Edgen comes out in 7th place.
To be honest, I think he might have compromised his race a little bit by not putting under that safety car and waiting, but obviously you can't tell whether there will be another safety car at that point, so...
Yeah, I might have been hoping for another one. Vlad meanwhile
Vlad.
gets a time penalty. And we have another yellow flag, and that's another Mercedes. This time of Igor.
Iger, I think he might have been stuck in the gravel a little bit there, but he manages to get out. Manages to get out of the gravel there, and he is back on the circuits. It'll be interesting to see what sort of pace Edgen can unlock here with this fresh set of softs. Not many laps left now in this Bahrain Grand Prix.
Yep, only 5 laps remaining, and might I just say, that was a terrible race for Igor. I expected much more from this driver. He used to battle for the championship lead with Agatha in the previous season, and now he's the last one of the finishing drivers, as of now.
I think he might just be having a bad race. Hopefully for him it is just a bad race, and hopefully he can come back in the next race and show us all what he is truly made of.
He's certainly not gonna do much worse in the next race.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully not. I mean, there could be less DNFs and he could finish last then, but...
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
his teammate has put a move on the Alpine driver, and he spins, and they collided! And I think Vlad was kinda caught up in that. That certainly...
Bit of
there
front
was,
wing damage somewhere.
Yeah, there was
Vlad
some
has front
damage.
wing damage. Vlad does have some front wing damage on the left end plate there. Front left, yeah.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate. That was a weird accident. I would have to watch the replay to say who was to blame, but I think Scrap just lost it on when he got onto the power. And yeah, his Mercedes went sideways and two guys just... Oh, and that's the end plate gone, showing its effect on Vlad's car. Vlad almost spun, he managed to cut that spin halfway through, so he's still in the race. But that's not gonna be what Vlad would have wanted.
Definitely not. I mean, especially seeing how his teammate compromised himself, giving him the lead for the safety car restart, and then picking up a bit of damage there. Not what he would have wanted, but Edgen now sets a fastest lap, and I think he can go faster because I did see him have a moment into, if I'm not mistaken, turn 13, and he lost, I think, a couple of tenths to Splat Beef when he did have that moment. But he is nice and close now to
he's getting
Splat
closer
Beef,
to
looking to make a move.
He does get alongside him into the twisty section. He has to slot in right behind him, but he does not concede the move just yet. He's now almost side by side with him. He tries to go from the outside, goes for a switchback, and that was a perfectly executed switchback. Edgen is now ahead of Splatbeef even before the DRS zone.
That was a textbook switchback from Edgen there. Some brilliant driving from him.
That was something naughty from Edgen right there.
Especially seeing how wide he went to get that switchback perfect. That was really well done from him. Some, as I said, some brilliant driving. And the question is, can he now catch up to Agatha? Because I don't think he'll be able to catch up to Ollie up in P4. I think the max he can get right now is P5.
Yeah, probably. Agatha is 2 seconds ahead of him, but Edgen has much fresher, much softer tires. So yeah, I would be surprised if Edgen finishes 6th. I would not be surprised if he finishes 5th, but I don't think 4 is on the table unless some of the guys ahead spin.
And he is pretty much out of ERS, so he will not be as fast as maybe he would like.
But look at, he's already in the DRS zone.
So that was... He gained rapidly there.
Yeah, that 2 seconds just disappeared in a matter of 2 corners. And he's already side by side with Agatha. He slots in behind just as the lap prior. He tries to go for a similar move on this occasion, but Agatha covers the outside line swiftly. But Edgen has none of it. He's still on the gearbox of Red Bull. He's gonna try for a dive bomb, maybe into turn 13. Now he thinks better of it.
Smart, keep the DRS, knows the driver in front doesn't have it. Make an easier move up the hill. He's not managed to get alongside. 3 second time penalty for door to door.
Yeah, but he's way ahead of all. Oh, and Edgen makes a move into the corner. We don't usually see moves done.
Oh. That was a spectacular move from him.
Yeah, Agatha just opened the door for him, and Edgen did not think twice about going in.
I think Agatha might have...
Meanwhile, we have a change of the leader. Sorry to cut you off right there. But Jacob Snacks is pulling a move on Deathling, and Deathling is trying to hang out on the outside. He does so, and he's still ahead, but Jacob is only 2 tenths behind him. He will have the... Wait, he does not open the DRS somehow.
None of them do.
None of them did.
I think we often see that happen when they get to the detection point almost at the same time. None of them get it, and
maybe
that's
perhaps that's what's happened. But yeah, that was dangerous for Deathling. He might lose the lead of the race if he's not careful. Jacob Snack certainly wants the win, and he can take it. He has short tires, and he certainly wants the win.
DRS open. Will he go for the move? He does not. And Edgen, I think he could actually get P4 here.
He could.
P4
He's
could be
only
on cards.
1 second off only, and we still have 1 more lap to go.
It's Deathlink really under pressure at the front.
He is, yep, and he pulls out trying to break the toe. That does nothing. Jacob is still right there with him. They both go through the last corner, and Jacob is gonna get the DRS now. He's gonna try to make a move into the first corner. Let's see. Let's actually right on board with him. And he's inching closer, inching closer. He's pulling side by side with Deathling. Deflin tries to squeeze him into the barriers, but now Jacob has the inside line. He cuts off Deflin a little bit, but Deflin has none of it. He is still ahead of the McLaren, and now Deflin has the DRS on him. I think that's the move done, and Jacob will not be able to take the lead in the race. And now Oli spins as Edgin gets ahead of him. So Edgin is now 4th. Let's see if he can make
and
it.
Ollie spins twice. Oh, not what he would have wanted.
Certainly,
From
but
4th to
now
7th.
Jacob goes for the dive bomb into the turn 12. Deflin tries to hang on. He does. He's only an inch ahead. He tries to squeeze Jacob out of the track, but Jacob is still in there with him. He is gonna get the DRS now. He's gonna pull out just behind Deflin and maybe think about a move into the 3rd sector. But now, if Edgin manages to cut off 1 additional second, he's gonna get the podium. Only a couple of corners remaining. Let's see. That's gonna be an exciting end to the race. Jacob is almost kissing the gearbox of Deflin. He's so close. He's pulling so much closer. He has the toe. He's thinking about the move. He goes for the outside. Deflin covers the inside line. He brakes a little bit later. Deflin has the inside line covered. He pushes Jacob Snacks wide. And now, here we go. Across the line, Deflin comes home to take the 1st place. Jacob just behind him. And Edgin only 1/10 behind door to door. He did not manage to take the podium place, but that was still an amazing recovery after maybe compromised strategy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, very, very good recovery from him. I mean, we didn't think he was going to get P4 at all, but he showed some amazing pace at the end there, and a really good drive on that whole race from Edgin, besides maybe, I'd say, the first 5 laps. As Deathlink does really well to hold on at the end there. It's a great battle between those top 2. And yeah, that was a really exciting end to the race.
Do you think Deflin might have put his elbows out just a tad bit too much? Will he get penalized for pushing Jacob wide? Or was that just fair hard racing?
I mean, it's the last lap. They both want to go for the win. I think Jacob should know he's going to be aggressive. I think if it was the other way around, Jacob probably would have done the same thing to try and squeeze out Deathlink there. So, taking all the factors of it being the last corner, both of them are just going for that win hard racing. I think it might just be considered just a bit of some strong hard racing.
Yeah, I think Deflin will certainly agree with you, but I don't know about Jacob. Actually, let's take both of them in and interview them on their thoughts about the last corner. So
Yeah,
I
I
want
think
to
let's
hear both
bring
of their
them in.
opinions.
Yeah, let's bring them in one at a time. We don't want to start anything here between the 2 of them,
Obviously.
just in case.
So there you have it. Deflin takes the first win in the Season 4 RTTF Racing to the Fullest Tier 1. Jacob only 2/10 behind him. That was a fight for the win to the end. Door to Door takes 3rd place. Maybe he got a little bit lucky with the safety cars and the strategy choices. And Edgin, surprising, I mean, maybe not surprising, but yeah, he did not win. As I said, he struggled on the start. He managed to gain some praises after safety car compromised his strategy. But yeah, a very exciting race, and I hope that the next one will be as exciting as this one. So, let's maybe pull up our race winner, and let's get some interviews done. Hello Deflink, sorry for kidnapping you all of a sudden. How do you feel about your first win in the RTTF league race?
Oh, well, hi guys. Sorry, I was typing. Yeah, no, it was good, wasn't it? Yeah, so I qualified. What was it? P3 was it? Was that? I can't remember.
Yeah, P3.
Something like that.
And I started on the soft tyre, which at the time I thought was a good idea. It still ended up being a good idea, but I thought I was going to mess myself up. And then pitted onto the mediums on end of lap 9, and then held them out until the end of the race. The reason I heard you guys talking about the push on Jacob right on the last corner. My tyres, all of them were on 80% when I crossed the line. So
I was
So
just
I
about to
started-
ask how those tires
Yeah.
were feeling at the end there, because they looked a little bit second-hand to me.
Well, I saw, so I knew Edgin was going to pull ahead of me because there was no point fighting him because he had some ridiculous pace on those hard tires. I don't know where he found it from, but he was rapid. And then I knew I was ahead of Jacob, and who was the other? Door to door was the other Aston Martin, I think, in third. And they were battling each other. I thought, I just got to take it to the end of the race. And then my tires just hit a cliff. They just started falling further and further off. And those last 2 laps when I was battling Jacob, man, like that last lap into turn 1, like he pushed me wide, which is entirely fair. That's what you're meant to be doing. But I honestly didn't think I'd have any grip around the outside. So, but yeah, no, brilliant race. It was good fun. And the alternative strategy of a softer medium did work out in the end.
Yeah, certainly
Yeah, I mean,
did.
just one more question from me. Do you think making that... Okay, can I just ask, what were your soft tires on when you pitted there? Because if you could have held that on to, I think, the safety car, it might have been better for your set of
Yeah,
medium.
so when that safety car came out, I saw it was my teammate that crashed out that caused the safety car, so I was like, oh, that's a bit annoying. But I think my tyres were on 50%, 60%, and I've driven, so I was losing time to Igor behind me, and I thought if I just stay out more laps, I'm going to lose even more time. So I thought I'll just box and see what happens. I didn't want to put on the hards. I know they're decent in this game, but I don't personally like driving them. And I knew I could take mediums to the end of the race, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it worked out in the end.
Yeah, once again, congratulations on the win, and I wish you luck in
Yes.
the coming races.
Thank you.
Well done.
I wanted to put in Jacob's next, but he's muted. Let's maybe get door to door. Hello, door to door. Sorry for kidnapping you all of a sudden. How was your race? Congratulations on the third, first of all, and talk us through your strategy.
My strategy was sadly enough expecting that there will be a safety car, so I started on the hards, so I can skip the safety car. First of all, a huge thank to my teammate Bahrain Barry, who held Edgin up and basically carried me to the podium position, screwing actually his own race up, but a perfect result for Aston Martin. Going from Alpine to Aston Martin, amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure you were aware, but with that 3-second time penalty, Edgin was catching up to you rapidly. He ended up 1/10 behind you. If he would have been 1/10 faster, he would have gotten the third.
Yeah.
Did you? Were you pushing harder than normally just to cover for that?
I used all of my ERS at the last point. I think due to the slipstream between Devlink and Jacob's fight, that I got the 1/10 advantage to Edgin. And first of all, at the beginning of the last lap, I was like, oh, Ollis will held him up. It's fine. I will get my P3. And then Ollis spun.
Yep.
And Edgin had fresh softs. And I was scared. I clinched it so much. I'm so happy. Oh.
So once again, congratulations on the podium, and hope you will do as good in the coming races.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
And
Do you wanna...
Jacob is still muted. I don't know if you want to drag him up and see if he might answer, but not 100%. I doubt he will.
Yeah, I doubt. Maybe he's still salty about the last move. Should we pull up Edgin for the third interview?
Yeah, I would love to know his speed there, or where he got that speed from, because that was a great race from him. Good recovery.
Okay. Hello, Jin, and congratulations on the good result. How was your start?
Hello?
Hello.
One, my USB is reset, right? It's a terrible start. But to be fair, I expected that to happen. I struggled on my throttle, really. To be fair, I struggled with grip. I didn't really drive with pedals. I had to use my wheels paddles as accelerator, decelerator. And also my braking zones are kind of screwed over because I had to use medium traction control, which I don't normally use at all, and ABS. So yeah, but overall I'm happy with my result. It's
I'm
difficult.
I'm just wondering, where on earth did you get the pace from on those old hards?
Oh man, old hards feel exactly like fresh softs. If it makes sense, they get stickier, they get hotter. You start sliding your back, and that was exactly what I needed. That's how I drive my car.
One
Till
'cause
then,
I
it
was-
was too
question.
grippy.
Why didn't you pit under
Yeah.
the safety car?
To be fair, I missed the first pit entry, and Vlad missed his first pit entry. And I don't know if you guys saw, I was trying to form a gap for him to pit
Yeah.
afterwards. After he messed up his pit, yeah. And after that, I just decided I'll be going for soft at the end, and I'll try to get Vlad to pit as well, give him a gap. But I couldn't hold on with the hards; they were too cold for the first 2 laps, so I could barely hold Deathlink back.
In hindsight, do you think you should have maybe stayed ahead for the safety car restart to maybe try get your tires to warm up and then maybe build a gap for him?
I don't know. Maybe it's the first thing I could think of. To be fair, they just tried to change stuff mid race. To be fair, his race got screwed over at the beginning as well. His car he broke his front wing. He had to pit off his hards, go on to mediums. Otherwise, he would have been on this similar strategy to mine. But yeah. It was
Yeah.
just a big amount of changing strategies, seeing what works with each other, and first race.
True. I hope you will get your pedals fixed in no time.
Yeah, me too.
And good luck in the coming races. Hope to see you go faster than that, obviously.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
Well done.
thank you as well. So, there you have it. So that was the first race of our league. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very exciting first race, and I can't wait for the next.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. And until then, take care.